profile view and section view engines have been rewritten to provide higher levels of user control over the labeling and drafting outputs. Let's focus on the profile plotting for this example. Some of the key changes include a categorized list of input controls. You can readily access settings controls, band controls, and annotation controls separately. This form is modeless, so you can continue editing your design, as well as zoom and pan around the plot preview without having to close the form. The plot preview window shows exactly what you will get in your published output and allows you to select and group edit labels on the profile. Normally, the changes you apply show immediately in the output preview, but if you're in doubt, click on the Update Display button. In the settings, you're able to manage the title block to include grid spacings and annotation along the horizontal and vertical axes. Additionally, the settings contain controls for the profile view title and the naming of output sheets. The Bands tab controls what profiles are displayed. You can show the design, existing or other surface on the profile view. Options in the band include the layers used for the profile display, whether or not to show a band below the grid, the band height and management of the band heading. You can add blank bands and other bands as required. In the annotations drop-down, you can control the labeling along the design profile. This provides an opportunity to assign a label style to manage how the label displays at each geometry point and along the length of the profile. Each label style allows you to establish symbols, lines and text to describe the information you want in that label. Profile labels can be configured by you and enable user cranking of text to address any overlaps. The station list controls the frequency for presenting labels in the bands. You can pick any band list to apply or use the Edit button to review and edit a list. You then apply that list to the road to manage the band label locations. The list lets you set general spacings along tangents and curves and whether to include the horizontal and vertical geometry, super elevation points and more. This same list is used for other outputs. Cross-section sheets and multi-road labels both utilize the same section list. When you are editing a named list for a string, these edits are stored for the string and do not affect the sections for other strings using the same named list. When you set up a plot to your liking, we strongly recommend saving this to a plot style. Then you can apply the plot style on any road or on any job and you're ready to go to print. If you save the plot style with the name standard profile-I, then this will be the default plot style applied on any new roads or new jobs. Outputs are to layouts in the drawing, one sheet per layer, or to file with one sheet per drawing. If you output to layout, you can continue grip editing the label line work and the text will adjust position relative to the lines. If you are plotting to file, take the opportunity to move labels around in the plot preview layout and see these edits applied to the drawing file outputs. Similar functionality is available for section plotting, modeless form, categorized controls for settings, bands and annotations. For cross sections, you can assign labels to the design codes for your design surface. Plotting outputs are the same, plot to layouts or to individual drawings. In both cases, you can also elect to update the outputs when the design is edited in the vertical grading editor and saved.